Cue spooky intro.
You'll be sorry, you fools! You idiots!
Ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
And welcome back.
Hi.
Hi.
He's not scared, he's cold. It's cold.
That's right. We have had some weather here today, but it is time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries. It is a shop where three gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and
What's your favorite porno movie?
Kazam!
you haven't seen Shaq act.
I have that way. Oh, what?
Brokeback Mountain.
Why can't I quit you?
Because I can't walk now.
Jesus Christ. I'm Anthony, the figure you see in the corner of your room during a sleep paralysis episode.
Ah!
Yes, it is a sex thing.
It's called a cuck chair.
That's
Joe's
not paralysis. I'm just tied up.
I'm just tired. That's not paralysis, I'm just lazy.
That's a different kind of stiffness.
I'm not paralyzed, I'm just a lazy top. Jay, probably. Yeah, I want you to bounce on it. You always want me to bounce on it. Yeah, it's not gay if you don't push back.
I think they call this soaking.
And I'm Joe, and I'm somehow both the good decision and the bad decision at the same time. And
In what?
And that means that today's sundry item is horror movies again. Beardos, we're continuing our theme of true love in the market this month, and we have decided to chat today about whether or not we would survive in a horror film. I'm going to go ahead and predict that this one will surprise absolutely no one. After the break, we are bringing back a game we love to give it the expanded time frame that it deserves for an episode like this. Later on, some horrifically astounding sundries, a cold, shiny, and hard villain of the week, and then Anthony is Game Master this week, as this is his area of expertise. But before we learn that the call is coming from inside the market, how about this week's lack of voicemail for the market?
7 days.
I
It's
guess
like deviled eggs, but 7 days.
we get like one international call, and then America shuts down our phone line.
That's
Because we're introducing tariffs on phone calls.
Oh my god.
Well, it's hard to get it over the Gulf of America. The call won't reach that far.
I swear to God, if we don't get the episode out at midnight on Sunday, nobody listens to it. They're like, no, it wasn't out on time. No,
It's true.
no.
Our numbers are way lower, and I'm just like, how do I get you to go up? I ask the same question every night when I take my Cialis.
That's the answer to the question, is the Cialis, you idiot.
Well, anyways, go on.
And speaking of that whole Gulf of America thing, I saved this meme today because I was going to send it to you guys and I forgot. But someone had done they put their own text over the Google Maps image of the Gulf of Mexico, and they renamed it Totino's Pizza Rolls presents Gulf of America, powered by the Home Depot. And I was like, oh God,
Yes.
I would believe it. I would
Sponsored by
totally believe it.
Verizon.
Today I did post the Gulf of Beards and Sundries because I said, why not just fucking rename it again? It doesn't even matter. The world's not real. America's stupid.
I mean, I guess if we could just call it whatever the fuck we want, I'm going to call it whatever the fuck I want. I'm not going to call it the Gulf of America. That's so fucking dumb.
I'm going to call it... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm going to call it my big, wet, gaping hole.
The gulf of one time I had a bad decision on a cruise ship with my ex.
The gulf of getting fisted. Just getting absolutely fisted on a cruise ship.
If we can call it whatever we want, I'm just going to call it the Gulf of Mexico.
Ooh, I'm going to call it the Gulf of Goatsy.
What?
That's Goatse, listeners. Look it up.
Oh.
NSFW warning, FYI. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Computer. Probably should have said that first. So.
Yeah, don't.
Everyone's at work typing it in as you're spelling it. They're like, "Yay!" Their boss walks in. Ah!
Yeah, Beardos. Let's save that one for the incognito browser, okay?
The incognito.
Yeah, you may not even want that one on your own personal computer. Well, anyways. Joe, do you think that the Sundries are coming from inside the market?
Or aisle 4?
I think they are because the voicemails sure aren't.
Okay,
but...
Judge Judy's.
Damn. Guilty.
Did you think about it all black and white and grainy?
Now, if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an old English word meaning odds and ends. Now today it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as three final gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow.
Wow, Anthony, you were really hammering that while he was talking.
Yeah, I was really reaching a verdict there.
Jay, that was so bad. You are not on your gay game today.
I'm not.
Oh my god. You are really hammering away.
I worked from home today, and mentally, I never left my couch.
Your brain is the office, I think.
I got to work, and like 20 minutes later, I get a text from my boss asking if I made it to work okay. And I was like, fuck, he was going to let me work from home. Fuck, and I'm already here. God damn it.
You should have said, no, I haven't left yet.
Yeah, just lie. Lie better.
That brain's working now. Yeah.
I know. It was 7 a.m. I was tired.
You should have replied, have you?
Yeah, I know he hasn't. I can see it on Teams. God.
IDK, you.
How was your drive? How is your drive ending up currently right now that I'm also making currently right now at this moment?
As I'm texting? No, I don't do that. In the best of situations.
Sent with Siri. That's responsible.
It was
It
slushy
says
out
sent
front.
with Siri.
He's got an Android. He wouldn't be able to know.
Oh,
that's true.
What kind of boss is he?
One who uses his work phone and doesn't have a personal phone to save money because he's smart.
I'm surprised. Oh, that is clever. I'm surprised the text message made it through to you, though.
Okay, what is this, 2012? iPhone's better than Android.
I do love all the memes, though, that were so popular way back in the day regarding iPhone versus Android. They'll never.
That's what we had to worry about in 2012. That and the end of the world. But it was just like it never. We were like, oh no, that's going to happen? A flood's going to come, and the global, the ice caps, and but none of it ever happened. And instead, we got whatever the fuck this timeline is.
That is.
We're living in a real horror movie.
We were like 2012 was the year we were supposed to end, and I remember like. It was half like, and a lot of us, like me, were just like, okay, whatever. But ever since 2012, shit has gone really crazy.
It's almost
maybe
like
we
it
were
really
supposed
did
to
end
end
in 2012, and we've been in limbo ever since. Or we're all in a bad place.
And I would have welcomed a super volcano and exploding and wherever it is, Wyoming, Colorado, somewhere up there, Yellowstone. I don't know.
There was a theory, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but there was this theory going around for a minute that was like, at one point several years ago, the Large Hadron Collider had an issue, and somebody theorized that whatever issue that happened with Large Hadron Collider like shifted our reality a little bit over just a bit, and it pushed us into the dark timeline.
And you know what? To that I say, Sure. Whatever.
Probably. Whatever. Everything makes sense
Who
at
knows?
this point.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
But we watched Midsommar on Sunday. Joe for the first time.
For the first time.
We got to chit-chatting about movies, and we thought this would be a fun little topic to talk about, you know, whether or not we think we would survive a horror movie, and how we would survive it. And I think there are a lot of different answers to this question because of how many different kinds of horror movies there are.
Very true.
But I think a good jumping off point is Midsommar. So let's talk about culty white people horror, and if you think you would survive it. Because you have movies like Midsommar, you've got like Rosemary's Baby, like any type of cult horror like that, I think I would probably survive. Because I'm antisocial. I wouldn't be there in the first place.
I think I would too, because I have seen enough weird stuff that white people do, but I'm also a white person myself, where I've done enough acting as a gay man where I've had to present straight in public, if you can see from this shining beacon of heterosexuality before you. But I could probably fake my way through, like, a cult, maybe all the way up until, like, the deprogramming or the lobotomies or the mass sacrificing, and maybe talk my way back out of it. Hopefully I have enough charisma for that, but I think I would be able to survive it by, like, being hyper aware of everything around me all the time. I think that would probably do it for me. That's one place where my anxiety would be a crutch for me instead of being a hindrance. Yeah.
I think my favorite part about that film is when the old people are sacrificing themselves off the cliff.
Oh, that's a great part.
And everyone, well, like all the out-of-culters, out-of-towners coming in for the holidays.
Out-of-culters.
Out-of-culters.
They all came
like
out of
Ann Coulter?
Yeah.
I was standing there watching the old people jump off the cliff. Isn't that how she talks?
That's
Big
a
fan.
real horror movie right there. Ann Coulter. Just watch Ann Coulter.
Her on TV, yes. But a lot of the people are just like freaking out at it, and I'm just like, I'd be standing there going, "Yay!"
I was sitting there on the couch and I was thinking, hey, you know, this is let's
look
some more
into
of this
this.
going.
I
What's
also
this?
liked how critical I was about the old man. I was like, this dumbass jumps feet down. What an
Feet
idiot.
first.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought
Fucking
too.
Idiot.
I was like, if you know you're trying to kill yourself, you don't jump feet first.
Like,
that is
obviously
not
the
what
woman
happens.
knew what she was doing. That proves a lot for us. Because that
That-
man's
yeah, I
like,
mean-
"Ugh."
That makes sense. Men are not efficient in that aspect.
My thought behind that is that maybe in his final moment he had a moment of questioning his own faith. So I think maybe he went feet first to see if he could feel the pain or see if he could feel it before his final moments, because they had the hammer ready because they knew that it was a possibility that someone wouldn't die right away. So they had the hammer ready to like fucking crack his melon in half. But I wonder if maybe he like wanted
his
to
head or his
experience the
tits?
pain right before. Maybe he thought it was like some kind of salvation. I don't know.
And you know what though? We're never really told how that ritual is supposed to go. Maybe that's the fucking plan the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, if they have the hammer
Maybe.
ready, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was part of it the entire time, because they don't really tell you what's supposed to happen there. But I will say I would have done a lot better in that scenario than any of those other people did. Aside from Florence Pugh, she actually did it pretty well. But I would have been like, oh, shit. Okay, well, I'm in a whole other country. I'm in like the backwoods of this other country.
Right.
And people are white and weird, and especially in these like deep recesses of Europe. Fuck, I guess people just die here. Shit, I don't know.
I'd also be looking at him going, God, I mean, will this robe look okay on me? Because I feel like I could join this now.
And that's what Florence Pugh did, and then she did pretty good. Now,
Which is also like a draw, because I liked all of their clothing. I was like, oh, this is very bohemian. Like I would be very comfortable here.
I didn't hate
this
it.
is nice. I hated the living situation.
Yeah.
But, like I think I would be okay after like 36. Like, I'd be okay. Like, if I can get some more privacy, I would appreciate that. But
I would also,
it doesn't strike me as a place where you really get that, you know?
I would also need that cloth that describes how the woman entrances a man. I would like that to not be hung up anywhere because I don't want to see those images.
Well, you didn't like the step-by-step guide that had to be hammered into the audience's face?
Because it kind of like made my stomach turn.
Straight up pussy.
It made my stomach turn when it came along to her like having her period in a cup for the man, and I was like, ugh.
The male character took the bite of that. What was his fucking name? The boyfriend who was terrible. I don't know.
Oh, Christian.
Christian, that's right. Hilariously. When Christian took a bite of that meat pie, well, I should have known by the name, and then he pulled the hair out of it, I was just like, boy, no. No.
So that's the other thing that I think about when I'm watching that movie is like, I would definitely live because like I'm gay. They couldn't get me. They couldn't get me with the sex thing because I'm not going to do it. They're like, do you want to have sex with her? And I'm like, nah, I'm solid, man. Like, thanks.
But that guy...
unless all of a sudden it was Rebecca Ferguson, then I'd be like, well, I guess I'm going to die in this weird cult because of my one opportunity to have sex with Rebecca Ferguson.
Just fake it until you make it.
But then, like, I'm also not going to go pee on random trees. I get weird. I get, like, social anxiety already. I'm not going to go out and pee on your weird tree. Like,
you would see me, like, go into the trees, like, behind shrubs and all.
If there's one phrase I'd be learning in Swedish or any language, it is, where is the bathroom? So I could ask that one thing to find the right place to pee.
So many of them knew English. You could ask. Where is the bathroom? Where do I use the restroom? I would definitely ask. I ask that anywhere I go.
Also, if this is their grounds that you obviously see that they are living in and all that stuff, you would have to assume that they would want to keep that clean unless you are witnessing other people do that. Different story.
Even then, my anxiety could never.
Oh, no.
It just seems like such a weird
I get a little pee
thing
shy
to, like,
there.
Like, one... it is weird for them to have a holy tree, so I do wonder if that was just an excuse to kill Will Poulter. But, I mean, they were going to do it anyway, so why even freak out about the tree?
You peed on my holy dildo! No!
No!
I mean, looking at all the male characters, the 4 that died in the movie, they all did something they shouldn't have before they died.
That's true. Chidi read the book, or he tried to go take pictures of the book.
Pictures
He
of the
was
book.
told
that was
that he
just
couldn't
dumb.
take pictures of.
The guy from France in the very beginning was freaking out and yelling and trying to get everyone all riled up, and then he went off without her in the truck that could only seat 2 people. I was like, girl, he is dead and gone already. And you need to shut the fuck up and comply so you can get the hell out of here.
Comply.
They're being all loud and doing the most, and I'm like, you can't even get a phone call out here. You think they're going to take you back to the train station? Bitch, you are dead.
I mean, at some point when somebody disappears and it's just...
They're just gone.
Like, yeah, they just went back without you. I would have been like, okay, sus as fuck, first of all. Like,
but also, they're dead
If they
now.
told me, if Joe and I were there and they told me Joe left without me, I would be like, oh, that's a fucking lie. And I'd be like, oh, okay, well, hang on. Let me run back here and grab something I forgot real quick. Then I'd fucking vanish. And I'd come back there with the goddamn American military because they're itching to go blow something up. And yeah, I mean, I would be using the state violence, in a way that is probably not okay, but fuck those people.
You'd have the military in kind of a chokehold too, because you are homosexual, but you are a veteran technically.
Then
they don't care about veterans. That actually makes it worse.
Then right after they finish blowing up the grounds, you get a text from Joe. It's like, sorry, I had to leave. I was uncomfortable, and I knew you were doing okay.
I'd still be okay. I would go and I'd be like, they have oil over there. They said it was called the Gulf of Mexico. Get them.
I'd be in the Motel 6, like half a mile away, looking out the window with my binoculars, like.
He would too. You'd be like, they were white and weird. I had to do something.
They were so weird. The only thing I liked
I'd been
about
like-
that was old people jumping off cliffs.
I would have been like, ew, communal twin-sized beds? No. I'll see you guys later.
Oh my god, that was interesting, being in that big old barn with just a bunch of twin-sized beds.
Yeah, I hate that. It's so... that would be a huge downside to that whole situation.
Well, I don't even know how the barn got built in the first place, because in the famous words
build
of
a
J. Rowdy Bush
barn.
himself, you don't build a barn, stupid
Dumbass.
dumbass.
I would immediately walk in there and be like, oh, do you have a plug-in? I have a CBAB.
Also that, and also the sheer amount of drugs they kept feeding people. I was like,
Yeah.
are they just high 24/7?
Also, what drug are they using?
Some kind
I
of
don't know.
hallucinogen.
It's got to be a hallucinogen.
Well, I want it.
Shrooms. It's got to be shrooms. I think it's just shrooms.
Anything that'll make me so high that I do a pencil dive into a boulder.
Anything that doesn't make me feel like I'm here right now.
You're going to be so stoned, you're going to want to do a pencil dive into a boulder.
Hey guys, let's pencil dive into a boulder. That sounds great. Ah!
I'll also hop in here real quick and say that I definitely have different priorities when I'm packing for a trip than, I guess, a 22-year-old doctorate student. But when they were all like getting out of the car and they had one single backpack and one small duffel bag for 6 weeks,
Yeah, nope.
that's not enough for 6 hours.
I need
You've
like
all seen me
3
pack for a
pairs of
cruise.
underwear for one day.
And then Anthony'd be like, where do I plug in my CPAP? They'd be like, whoa! They all just start groaning and like sacrificing your CPAP, and they like build an altar around it. And you'd
No,
be like, well,
I need that to
okay.
breathe at night.
So, do I get that back?
He gets it back, but it's loaded with like crazy amounts of like LSD water,
Flowers
and he
and
goes
shit.
to bed,
Oh
and
my
he's just
God.
floating off of the bed
I'm
and
like,
floating
Anthony,
away.
will you convince them to do that to mine too?
I'd be too fucking stoned. I'd be thinking that like I was telling you something really profound, and then it would just cut to me, and I'd be like,
He'd look like Lois when they hit her with the tranquilizers out of the Christmas tree, and he's just in the chair like,
"That's right, Mom." Ball. God. So I think I would survive a culty white person like experience like that. Like if it was like a Rosemary Baby situation, like I'd be out of there. I don't do that. I hate being around that many like random strangers anyways.
I just feel like if our life's in danger, we're good at acting. Because, you know, as gays, our
Right.
lives have been in danger, and we're good at
All the
acting
time.
to get out.
Yeah.
So
You gotta lie.
I think we could make our way out and just be like, this was the best fucking experience ever, and then like leave and be like, all right, so
This was so cool. I'm just gonna go over here real fast and just be out.
I'm gonna call my friends and tell them how great this was.
That's the route I'm taking. I am going to follow all the rules and play it cool all the way up until the big event, and then I'm going to slink away and they'll never see me again, and then I'm going to escape, and then I'll get like a book deal and movie deal and get all these endorsements, and then I'll be like have like the escape story, and then I'll just ride out all the fame on that.
So we don't like stick too hard to this one genre. So we all three think that we would survive culty white person horror.
Yes,
Yes.
just acting.
Yeah,
I
think
would
so, too.
survive it and monetize from it.
I
I think so.
would sing, and maybe they'd be like, oh my god, he speaks to the angels of hallucinogens, and so
and I would be like over there with my cup of tea, going like oh
No. I'll do you one better. I'll sing, and they'll take so many hallucinogens that they'll just die.
Joe and I could sing together. Poopy moments.
God,
You and I are doo-doo-doo.
so awfully different. Now, I know we've talked about slashers before on the podcast.
We're not
But
from
how do you
Rhode
guys
Island.
think that you would fare in a slasher? Think like Halloween. Think Friday the 13th. Think Scream. Like whether it's a human antagonist or not. Like what do you think? 'Cause I think I would probably not live. I think I
Okay.
would do like I think I'd be like middle of the road, maybe like second to last.
The logic from how life works, I think I'd be fine because I wouldn't put myself in precarious situations like they always do in the films.
Yeah, but like, haven't you ever just gone out to like a cabin somewhere, like a random fucking place with friends? We just went to a cabin this last weekend, bitch.
That was not a cabin.
We've been to cabins before with friends.
If you look up glamping in the
friends.
dictionary,
I'm just saying, some of those cabins were nicer back in the day. So, anyways, Jay, continue.
Well, I was just about to say, I don't go to cabins, so there's the precarious situation resolved. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I guess in those scenarios where we're out in a cabin in the woods, I mean, my tires are slashed, all that shit. Yeah, sure, I'll die. but like,
into sentence.
But like, I feel like in movies like Scream and all, they're like, running away, and they go upstairs. And they go in closets and in garages trying to get through cat doors. Things like that.
Yeah, but Jada got killed in the theater by who she thought was Omar Epps because he was just wearing like the mask. Like, that's a situation that I would get stabbed in.
I don't even like movie theaters, so another
because of the amount of times that Joe like pulls shit like that, where I'm just like, yeah, I guess I would just die because there's nothing I can do there. I'm not necessarily gonna run upstairs, but like, shit.
There's a commercial for, I forget what it's for, but it's like this group of like teens. They're trying to escape a killer, like a chainsaw guy.
Oh, yes.
And it's like legally nondescript, but okay, so they're like, oh no, what should we do next? And they have a choice to make, and they look over and they're like, should we get in the running car? And it literally shows like a car with the driver's door open, with the engine running and the lights on. And then they look over and they're like, and then there's like a rickety shack full of chainsaws that are all running. And they're like, no, let's go to the shed of chainsaws. And then it shows them running toward it. And then the killer just is like, what? And just like shakes his head and just starts to follow them.
Which is where Scary Movie came
the American
from.
Government.
Yeah, which Scary Movie came up with the life or death sign. Death or safety, that's what it was. And she ran for death. Which...
And the table of weapons that had the grenade and the knife and the banana.
She grabs a banana. I mean,
but I think a lot of times you won't know you're in that situation until you're like in the midst of it, you know?
Okay, so I think the moment that any slasher appears in any form or fashion with a weapon, I would right then know.
Yeah, but at that point it's too late. They're there. That's what I just said. You won't know you're in it until you're in it.
Well, yeah, it's not a slasher film until the slasher shows up.
Yeah, but what... Oh, God.
Jay, you're forgetting the first, 15 to 17 minutes of every horror movie where everything's fine. Or is it?
Oh, no!
Not in Scream. Everything was really bad in the first 15 minutes.
Not in Halloween, because that guy kept looking at her in weird angles.
You talking about Michael Myers?
Yeah.
And he wasn't even a guy. He was 8 years old.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So I think I'm with Anthony. I'd probably be middle of the road. I probably wouldn't make it to the very end. I'd probably, you know what? I would make it to the scene where it's the person who's about to get away in the car and they drop the keys, or the engine's disabled, or the tires are slashed, or the killer's in the back seat or something. And
you bet your ass if my tires were slashed, I could still drive.
I know, but in movies
right.
they
I'm gonna drive on the
can't.
rim. I don't give a shit about that.
In movies, they're like, oh no, a flat tire. I can't possibly move the car 5 inches. But no, I'd be the person that dies in the car scene.
I would be, honestly, I think I would be like David Arquette in Scream. That's how I would die, is his death scene where I would be like, ugh, I gotta go back and kill the killer. They're right there. They're ripe for killing. And then I would get killed myself because I would make some stupid miscalculation. And I went back for no reason. No reason whatsoever. I could have just left. We could have let it be. Could have lived the whole time. But I went back because I'm too fucking stupid to know that I should just maybe leave it alone.
Anthony miscalculates what's happening, and then he gets shot, and he's laying on the floor, and he's like, oh, I forgot to carry the one.
It'd be more of a, did you fire 6 rounds or 27?
1 + 2 + 1 + 1 +
1 + 1 +. Shut up! Are there any more genres you want to cover?
There is one more that I'd be interested to find out if you guys would think you would survive, because there's so many different versions of horror, but one we don't really ever talk about.
House of Wax?
Here.
No, I'm kidding.
I think doesn't that count as slasher? Isn't that a slasher movie?
Yeah,
well, I mean,
I think so.
Are they really?
I don't know. My interest on it kind of waxes and wanes.
Oh my god! No, boo! No, I was gonna say like sci-fi horror, like space horror, like Alien or Aliens.
Oh, I wouldn't survive that. I've seen Mars Attacks.
I have absolutely zero interest in space travel, so I would never be in that situation either. That's the J route that I'm taking.
I just feel like there's so many. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying I know for a fact that I'd be like, oh, I'm going to protect myself. And they would always just like, I don't know, beam me up and murder me.
I feel like I would probably also die if it were like Alien, because I don't know. It's too.
Was it
aren't
Nope?
enough ways to survive. Yes, Nope is what you're thinking of.
Nope is the one that I would probably definitely die, because I'd be like, listen, it sounds like shit's gone well this whole time. I kind of want to see what it's like. And then I would definitely be killed.
Oh, Nope. Nope, just like the movie. Nope. I think I could live through Nope because I just would know better. That just feels like something stupid. Nope. I'm going to get one because I don't like going outside. So I'm rarely out there anyways. And two, if I have the option of being inside, I go inside. And they're like out there at night. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. I would be inside that house.
Oh, yeah, I would say aliens at nighttime. That's a no-no for me. Daytime, sure.
Oh, sorry.
I don't do.
I have tea time at 3.
Nighttime, buddy. My bedtime is 8 p.m. and you are out
I gotta
late
get
for me.
I gotta get my moisturizer on at 7:30.
No, you two would be totally safe in an alien situation because you'd be laying there in your beds, but your CPAP is on, so they think you already have a face hugger on. So it's a decoy.
I'd be like, is this an overnight trip? I need my CPAP.
So the face huggers won't get you.
And
I'm imagining that too, where like they put this.
And I doubt you have bidets up there.
Well, that is true. I don't think that they do. I think it's just space.
So I can go get my butt wipes and things like that, and poop into
the butt wipes just floating around.
Oh God, I can't reach my butt wipes.
I'd pick one up out of the air and be like, "Oh, look, it's Jay's opinion on anything."
Oh, look, it's Jay's reading skills on this podcast.
Poopy moment.
Well, I think we should probably take a break from getting ourselves killed and a poopy moment.
Boo.
And then
Boo.
come back and... Oh, my God. Fuck you both.
All right, guys. So we have done the game Recast a few times before in the past, and we've gotten some good feedback on it. So we are going to do another round of it this time, but each of the three of us have picked a movie of our own, and we are going to go ahead and recast it right now on the pod. So we'll go in intro order, starting with Jay.
So I actually handled this a little bit differently. I didn't specifically choose a film. I chose a very iconic moment of a film.
Okay.
And I chose Final Destination's log highway crash scene.
Yes.
I was like, I want to recast who's driving all the cars.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
So here's the list of what I got to recast. We have whoever's driving the log truck. We have whoever's driving the red SUV, which has the main character, which her name was Kimberly in it. Mm-hmm. She's the one who sees this all before it actually happens. We have the really annoying motorcycle driver that's weaving in and out of traffic that, dies because his motorcycle cuts him in half. We have the white van that just kind of like sideswipes and wrecks and rolls. Then we have kind of like a blue Ford car driven that This is the one that he rolls and rolls, survives the roll. Then another semi comes through, and the car explodes when it hits him. We have the silver Ford SUV that's driven by the lady who, later on in the film, dies when the airbag explodes and pushes her head into the pipe.
Oh, yeah. Tragic. There's so much tension in that scene.
Such a great one. The mom and the mom and the son that are in like the Ford Pinto that hits the log and then just explodes. And then there's also a guy in a Trans Am that he makes it through but smashes into the truck like trailer tank that had fuel, explodes, and then burns up in his car. And then I also decided to put the guy or somebody driving the semi that comes through and like kills everyone at the end, because the girl that's having the vision, that's how she dies, is that semi coming through. Okay, so I decided that the person driving the log truck would be Elon Musk, because he's cutting back on so much funding that he didn't pay for the chains to hold the logs properly. And also,
he designed the chains himself with his own new chain startup.
Yes. And later he also tweets after that thankfully it wasn't a Tesla or Cybertruck that was involved, because they're much safer. Now, I went an odd route on this one. Kimberly, the main character, I actually chose you, Anthony, because I thought it would be fun to watch you in this like panic scene, like, oh, we can't drive, I had this vision. And you survived the film, so
how would I handle that?
Exactly. I wanted you to kind of think about it. All right, so the annoying motorcycle driver that's flying through traffic and weaving, I put Kanye West on there because he seems so fucking annoying that he would do that.
Yeah, I would.
And then the white van, it was just some old panel van, definitely driven by Matt Gates. There was nobody else that would even possibly make sense for that. It's just
chock full of minors.
Oh, God. I just added a whole van full of minors to this death scene. That sucks. Okay, so the blue car, which I couldn't tell what it was. It kind of reminded me of like an old Ford Mustang, but I don't remember what it was.
I thought it was a Mustang.
That's
what
I
Fox
thought.
Body Mustang.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put Dr. Phil in there. Because
Get real, Jay.
I don't know why. I just thought it'd be great for him to be like rolling in this car, landing and being like, oh, I survived. I'm going to make a show out of this.
I just imagine he'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. With every little turn.
Wait now. Wait.
God.
The silver Ford SUV that just slams into the log, flips over, and kills her, that's going to be J.K. Rowling. Because, wow, what a bitch. Also, in the film later on, I want an airbag to push her face into a pipe.
Also, that log was trans. Later on in the film, the pipe is trans.
I wish
it's
she
called
would have
Justice,
been
people.
I wish she would have been driving the Trans Am. There's something finally working up here. Okay, so the mom and son in the Ford Pinto that hits the log and just explodes. I decided that this would be a great blend with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh my God, yes.
He's like, Mom, save us. And she's like, MAGA. This is a great one. So the guy in the Trans Am that smashes in the trailer, explodes and burns. Ronald Reagan. Because he's already in hell, so it's nothing new for him. This is just whatever.
Fuck him.
And then I decided the guy flying through and killing off more people in the other semi. I decided to go with Mitch McConnell because he froze the fuck up and doesn't know how to hit the goddamn brakes.
Just imagine you're like...
Somebody in the passenger seat. Sir, you're going to have to move your foot.
He's just... God, yes.
But he survives it, and then when he gets out of the truck, he falls down the steps, then dies.
And then dies. Yeah. Or he's the only one who survives the whole experience because that's just how that shit works.
He gets
And
out,
he's just-
and the news is like, "Did you see what happened?" He's like, "You're gonna have to speak up."
Yeah, that's the problem. Oh.
Anyway,
Well,
so, yeah,
it's good to
that's
know
what
that I
decided.
will survive all the way to the end of this film and then mysteriously not be in the third one.
That was my plan all along.
Nice.
It's assumed that I'm dead.
You did pretty good for one of my favorite franchises, Jay.
Thank you.
That's
I'm really
pretty good.
I'm really pretty proud of that one.
So my list of characters is not as long because I picked the movie The Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
When I was a little girl.
So we have 6 characters that we are recasting, and those characters are Clarice Starling, who is played originally by Jodie Foster, and then we've got Hannibal Lecter, of course, played by Anthony Hopkins. We have Jack Crawford, who is Clarice's boss at the FBI. Can't remember the actor's name who plays him. We've got Buffalo Bill, who is the serial killer that they're looking for.
Wasn't the guy William H. Macy?
No, God, no, it was not.
Kidding.
Can you imagine? No, I would never.
You're like, I fucking
then we've
hate
got-
this film now.
Right? Then we've got Dr. Chilton, who is the doctor at the facility that Hannibal Lecter is being kept in. And last but not least, we have Catherine Martin, who is the woman in the well who's being held by Buffalo Bill. So, to start off, we're going to recast Clarice Starling with Helen Hunt. Specifically because I want to know if anyone will even be able to tell the difference. I want to know if anyone could even see that it's not Jodie Foster, because I don't think they could.
I'm
certain
actually
they couldn't.
really glad you said that, because when I was younger, those are two people I definitely used to confuse.
Yes, yeah, all the time. And I don't think anybody would know. I don't think anybody would even be able to fucking notice that it wasn't Jodie Foster. You could watch 2 movies
until
the Lambs part.
Until you reach a scene where Helen Hunt's like, "You've never seen it miss this house and that house, and it's yours."
You've never seen it miss that lamb and that lamb and get your lamb.
Bah!
Those lambs were all screaming.
Mine wasn't silent.
God. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace Hannibal Lecter. We're going to cast Jack Nicholson, but as current Jack Nicholson. And I mean like in all of his old age glory. Yes.
Wow.
Just absolutely there. He's going to be like, I ate his liver with some fava beans and an iced Chianti.
And then he also kind of like sexually verbally assaults her because he's kind of a player too.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
You know, I once had a census taker that crossed my path, and I ate his liver.
Tested me.
Tested me. That's with an iced Chianti.
Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace Jack Crawford, who is Clarice's boss, with Chris Tucker. Because I want every moment that she's there, like talking to him, where everything's very serious, I want Chris Tucker to be the person on the other side of that table. And I don't know any of his lines specifically. I just think Chris Tucker adds that like chaotic atmosphere to things, and it just is not ever going to be a serious actor. It's always comedy with him.
Yeah.
So Buffalo Bill, the serial killer, who is always like, it puts the lotion on its skin, right? That is going to be Randy Newman.
Yes, put the lotion on your skin.
And you rub you one.
Well,
you right.
This is a 90s film, isn't it?
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, so this makes sense. Randy Newman had a chokehold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Randy Newman is there, and he's Buffalo Bill now.
I love it.
I'm imagining the scene where like Buffalo Bill is completely naked and like has his junk tucked back, but it's just fucking Randy Newman.
Why would you ever imagine that?
I was like, that
You got
is
to
something
if
I
you're recasting.
Never
You
imaged
got a
in my
plan.
head. Thank you.
Yep. Well, now you can.
I will say. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Well, finish yours, and then I'll make my comments at the end. If you want some fun new clothing and want to support a small business, check out hunkytops.com, the queer, Latino-owned clothing site. Beards and Sundries will get you 10% off your first order with the code SUNDRIES at checkout. You can order above 3XL, you just need to hit the contact button and they'll work with you. Again, check out hunkytops.com. Explore their styles and wear your pride. Use Sundries at checkout for 10% off your first order.
You're listening to the Beards and Sundries podcast. The podcast rated 5 out of 6 balls.
So Dr. Chilton, who's the doctor at the facility Hannibal is in, the doctor who's always like really mad because Hannibal will talk to Clarice, but he won't talk to Dr. Chilton about anything. Like, he gets super bitter about it. That's going to be RuPaul Charles. In full drag. Because I just want RuPaul to be like, bitch won't even talk to me. That was like sashay away. And last but not... Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying I love that.
Yeah, it's fun, right? And very last, Catherine Martin, who is the woman in the well who's constantly like terrified. She's the senator's daughter. We're gonna cast her with Aquafina. Aquafina, yes, from Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay.
I love her.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. Just being down in the well like, ah!
I hate
loud ass voice that she has.
I hate how the first person that came to mind was the unsinkable Molly Brown down there. I don't know why.
You mean Kathy Bates?
Well, yeah, I mean played by Kathy Bates, but
oh, okay.
And then the other change that I had that I don't know why this popped in my head would have been Hannibal Lecter being played by John Mulaney, because he always has that voice when he jokes.
I thought about recasting Hannibal Lecter as who did I originally think of? Because I was going to use Jack Nicholson for somebody else, but then it just felt right. I just wanted I wanted to up the craziness and drastically reduce the class.
You could have also made this a different style of film and did Mark Wahlberg.
Ew. No, I wouldn't do that to the people. What is this, Ted?
Suddenly it turns into a Back the Blue film somehow.
Oh, I don't know. They might eat it right up.
Just parts of them.
Jesus.
And
that's my recast.
Of him.
Yay!
Yay! Good job.
The grading rubric was very simple. There isn't one.
So mine is a little bit of a different idea in the sense that I made a new movie and I made a sequel, and this is the cast that I'm throwing together for the film Midsommar 2.
Ooh.
Because I've been thinking about this movie a lot the past couple of days because we did just watch it and I just experienced it for the first time. So a lot of ideas have been flowing. A lot of questions that I want answered have been answered by me in my imagination, which is a very scary place to be. So horror. Perfect.
Horror.
Okay. So Midsommar 2. So this is in the future. Let's say maybe about 18 or so years. The perfect time
30,
for
27.
some other ceremony to happen.
We're back in Sweden for some reason.
Right. We're back. So, in Midsommar 2, in the future, Danny has married her friend Pelle, the one who originally took them to Sweden. And they are off screen for most of it, or maybe they're like there for bits and pieces of it, but they're not really there. This isn't really their story. So, they're the only two that I didn't recast because I thought they were both so good in the original that I want them there for the sequel. So, I didn't recast those. But since this is a sequel, that leaves a lot of room for new players to be in the film. So there you go. Super simple. So for the role, so both Danny's parents and Pelle's parents are passed, tragically. So that left a lot of things for me to plug in. So for Pelle's aunt, I am casting her as Kate Winslet. And she is someone who kind of has both she kind of has a foot in both parts of the cult. She's like high and regarded as like, you know, respected in the cult community, but she also has like, I don't know, like an office in like, you know, Stockholm or something where she has a base of operations where she does like research and recruits and keeps the cult like going and stuff and does like logistics. So she's like a big part of it. So she's like a big contact point for Danny and Pele's daughter, who's going to be there later. So moving on down the cast list, we're going to have the cult leader and the female cult leader again, the ones that jump off the cliff. Those two are going to be played this time around by Alec Baldwin and Gillian Anderson.
Why would you do that to Gillian Anderson?
Because I think that her acting range is so good and broad, but also she's
all the
not
way from
in
the-
enough stuff.
She could go dead and do
Go all
great.
the way from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
And
there's
she
only
would
one more
know-
direction to go.
She would know to jump face down.
She wouldn't do that. She'd be like, no,
She-
too pretty.
She wouldn't be tits up, bitch.
She couldn't
She wouldn't
jump
be ankles
thought
to
down
Jesus.
like that old lady did, because then her tits would bounce her back off. She'd just bounce right back up to the top.
Oh my
of the
god.
cliff.
What a moment though where you like watch her bounce off the rock and it's just like, oh.
So
Gillian
speaking,
Anderson, yeah, I know. I've seen Midsommar too.
So speaking more to the cult itself, there are some more, you know, NPCs, little bit parts in there. I'm just going to go ahead and throw some Swedish actors their deserved cred. So we're going to have the Skarsgårds are there, of course. You know, Stellan, Alex, Bill, all them, of course. Joel Kinnaman's there because he's just delicious too.
You just picked all the weird white people. Yeah, no, you did a great job.
They're Swedish, Anthony. Jesus.
Joel Kinnaman isn't Swedish.
Yes, he is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Hey, Siri.
Ask her.
No, I'll look it up later, bitch. Keep going.
So then, also, for some weird reason, ABBA is there.
Well, that makes
There's
sense.
just going to be like a musical performance or something. I don't know, some kind of musical interlude, some kind of brand tie-in for.
It'll
some
be like
music
a
for the
modernized version of The Winner Takes It All, so it's kind of like clubby. The winner
Yeah.
takes it all.
Gillian Anderson hits the boulder and they go, Mamma Mia.
So then another character I have here would be Christian's son, because you remember he impregnates that girl.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So this little bit of the story is Christian's prodigal son trying to take over the cult as the next successor. And that role will be played by Alexander Ludwig. And if you're not familiar with who he is, he played Cato, the District 1 tribute from the Hunger Games. He was also in a series we just watched recently called Earth Abides. And ooh, he is a very fine actor. And then for what I'd say is probably the most important role, for the role of Danny and Pele's daughter, I went with Hunter Schafer because I think that she is smart, she's brilliant, she's beautiful, she looks the part already. It would be a really good acting space for her to kind of flex her acting muscles. And there could be some really fun storylines and kind of a fun twist ending in there as well if we want to go that kind of route. But so I kind of went less funny and more casting my ideal sequel.
Nice.
There you go.
Plus, Hunter Schafer was just in Cuckoo, and so she's done white and weird horror.
Yeah,
She's got
so it's
experience.
perfect.
Speaking of horror films, now that we're talking about it after 54 minutes, have you guys been seeing the previews for that movie, The Monkey?
Yes.
I've
I
heard of
really
it.
want to see it.
I kind of do
Yeah.
too. Did I say it's a Stephen King book?
It is.
Okay.
I don't know. It might be a short story. It's definitely not a book.
Okay.
But it might be either a novella or a short story that he's written, but it's definitely a Stephen King property. Sort of like how Boogeyman is.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it is all over my social media, and I'm like, damn it, I kind of want to see this.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm very excited about it.
Everyone dies.
Well, great job, Joe. You did a fantastic job of casting Midsommar 2.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next week, Midsommar 3. No, I'm kidding.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, Midsommar 2, coming to a theater near you this August.
Written by Ari Aster, directed by J. Rowdy Bush. Imagine.
It's a musical.
Now, I don't know what he's going for in this shot, but everyone's going to wise up, okay?
Midsommar.
From the twisted minds that made you reconsider vacationing in Europe comes the sequel absolutely no one asked for. This summer, pack your bags and say goodbye to your loved ones forever.
Welcome! We're so glad you joined our special celebration.
More rituals, more flower crowns, more creative ways to eliminate tourists that apparently didn't tell their families where they were going, so nobody could track down this cult that keeps killing random people from a different country.
Where's Kevin? Kevin is part of something bigger now.
For this sequel, watch this movie through the lens of a musical.
It's summertime to sacrifice. Grab your friends and bring them here and roll the dice.
So sit down in your all-white, drinking your herbal drug tea for Midsommar.
You're stuck right here, there is no leaving, don't even try. Just sit right there, don't make a sound, don't even cry. 5, 6, 7, 8, die! Woo!
Midsommar 2, the musical, contains excessive folk dancing, unsolicited human sacrifice, and one deeply unsettling jazz hand number. Viewer discretion is advised. Side effects may include paranoia, an intense fear of flower crowns, and uncontrollable urge to harmonize while committing crimes. Please consult a therapist before attending. This film is rated BS.
Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you get a notification every time we drop a new episode.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but really enjoyed Midsommar 2, even though it wasn't the exact genre that I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was a wonderful genre.
I don't know. The cast was kind of weak.
Yeah, I heard they couldn't get Hunter Schafer, so they got Randy Newman.
I don't know. I heard they couldn't get Hunter Schafer, so they got the Hamburglar.
I heard the Hamburglar was dating Jay.
I don't know if you guys did what I did this weekend, but I ended up buying 3 different tickets and watching 3 films in a row, and it was Final Destination, which they recasted for some reason, and Silence of the Lambs, and then I watched the sequel to Midsommar.
And somehow Randy Newman was in all 3.
Well, he only sang in Final Destination. Oh, you're dead!
Actually, Anthony, somehow all 3 got to have him.
Oh, well, my bad.
Yes.
My bad. Yeah.
If they were so lucky for the 90s.
Correct.
Thanks, longtime movie channel / theaters.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Nona Stellas.
Ooh, we could branch off into longtime theaters.
The longtime theater chain.
We need to think up our own theater chain.
We need to thought up our own theater
Okay,
chain.
we need to thunk and think.
Aisle 4 cinemas. But, Jay, do we have any Beardos submitted sundries this week?
Actually, nothing really official came in this week. But I did actually hear from Jody where he said that last week's episode, somewhere near the end, he's like, I was trying so hard to restrain myself from laughing out loud at my desk.
Which part?
I know. I was like, wait a minute, which part was it? And then Sarah, that's right. I was like, Sarah told me this. She said that she was dying laughing at the scanner moment.
I will say Aaron Choi told us that he has some art in progress of said scanner moment.
Oh my God.
So I don't know anything more than that. And I'm sure we won't see it until it's actually here and we can look at it. I'm a little terrified I'm not going to lie.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And to Jody, also thank you. And...
Well, then, since we don't have any more Beardos submitted sundries, how about we move on to our villain of the week?
Yay.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
So, for this villain of the week, I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about something I read in the news just today. And I read that Coca-Cola has now decided that if they don't like the tariffs that are being imposed, they will move toward more plastic bottle packaging instead. And they have raised their sustainability from 50% sustainable packaging in 2030 to, I think it was like 40% in 2035. So they're moving the goalpost forward again.
You mean backwards? Closer?
Backward, yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right.
You know, something the Chiefs could have done at the Super Bowl.
Were the Chiefs in the I didn't know who even played in the Super Bowl.
Chiefs and the Eagles, and I'm always a Chiefs fan, and it was not the year for them.
No, it wasn't.
That's whatever you're talking about for you. Sports ball.
Ended up being a very boring game to watch. I'm glad I didn't get drunk.
I wonder if Taylor has forgiven him yet and is letting him sleep in the bed again.
We'll find out in the song soon.
Have you seen him? I would. Shit. I
I laugh because he showed up in this like very 70s retro suit and all, and everyone's like, imagine putting that gear back on after a game, trying to feel cool.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm also just thinking about like the fact that Coca-Cola isn't going to, they're going to do what they can to circumvent the tariffs, even though they actually have the money. This is just,
right.
It's so dumb.
It's very villainous, isn't it?
Tariffs like this are just a tax on small businesses, and it's such a shitty thing to do.
But the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America. We got the Gulf of America. Don't worry, people.
And we're gonna push for the red, white, and blue land.
So when you find more plastic bottles in the Gulf of Mexico, you know.
In the Gulf of America, you mean? That'll really make it the Gulf of America.
No, I don't. I mean the Gulf of Mexico.
If we do keep polluting it, now that I think about it, Galveston, that's kind of the Gulf of America.
It is. It really is. That's
dirty.
Yep. We award you with the polluting medal of pollution to Coca-Cola.
You know, that is kind of true because isn't it? It's 12 nautical miles off the coast, and then it goes back to like what it's actually called, and not just what a single country wants to call it.
Yeah, it was like it's international
who
waters.
Yeah, it's international. We don't own it. Jesus
That's it.
Christ.
When he started saying that, I was like, this is so stupid because anybody who's taken a cruise knows that, yeah, sure, at the coast, I can't gamble. But as soon as we reach a certain point,
once they hit 12.0001 miles, they like ring a bell and an alarm, and everyone's like, "Woohoo!" And like the tables flip over, and like
the
all
gates
the stores
open, the lights come
on,
the card
lights
are there.
Like, signs are going off that just like they're flashing with little sirens, and they say "pussy out."
The girls in boxing rings that like ring the round cards. They like walk through, and they're like, "Casinos open."
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
right.
And that's why Coca-Cola is our villain of the week.
Sponsored by Coca-Cola.
That's weird. They didn't send money.
Yeah, it's strange.
No one
right?
has yet.
But do you guys think that it's going to be game time now that we've got our villain in the books?
Sure.
I do think it's game time, and Anthony, I'm excited to see what you have for us this week.
This is a game I'm calling Into a Lens Stupidly.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
So I am going to give you horror movie descriptions as poorly described by Redditors, and you have to tell me what the movie is. You'll each have 3 guesses, and whoever I hear first gets the point. Most points win. If I give you a clue and you guess something that isn't what I was expecting, but we can make, like, if I feel like you have a good case for it, like maybe there's a movie I wasn't thinking of, but, you give me an answer that I think fits it anyways, I might still give it to you.
Okay. Cool.
So just FYI. Make sense?
Yes. How many are there?
There are 9 of these.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Then, without further ado, number 1. A spooky janitor finally gets even with those meddling kids.
Freddy Krueger or Friday the 13th?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep, Joe gets it because that is the name of the movie.
I love how in my head I just had like 18 different horror movies going along, getting closer to the one it's supposed to be because I was about to go Nightmare on Elm Street or Nightmare Before Christmas.
he's got the person right.
Jay's brain was like, Tu Wong Fu, Priscilla Queen of the Desert, Birdcage, Mrs. Doubtfire, Nightmare on Elm Street.
He's like Kirby and Scream 4 when she's listing off all the horror movies, and I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. I think you're going to get killed, Kirby. She doesn't, but Okay, number 2. Teenagers in a cabin learn the dangers of reading. There are 2 answers to this that I have written down.
The Evil Dead?
Evil Dead, yeah, that is one of them. So I'm going to give it to you because that is one of the answers I had written down. So the other answer I had written down was the Cabin in the Woods, yes.
Is that 2 points? I'm just kidding.
No. Nope, you get 1. Everybody gets 1. Tell them, Peter.
Okay, everybody gets 1.
Okay, number 3. A very generous clown shows 7 kids the meaning of friendship. It. You are correct. Okay.
Pennywise? No, I'm kidding.
Pennywise, the dancing clown. Okay, number 4. A determined man seeks to reunite with his long-lost sister.
Halloween.
Yes, absolutely, that is it.
Yeah.
The last part was while impersonating William Shatner. Okay, number 5. 3 drunks illegally kill a great white shark and sink their boat in the process.
Jaws?
It's Jaws.
Okay,
yes.
I was like, wait.
Don't forget, these
I guess
are
that is a horror film, isn't it?
Poorly described by Redditors. Yes, it is, because...
I just thought it was a National Geographic show.
I mean, it's also that.
Well, I mean, I was afraid of sharks under my bed as a kid, so that makes sense.
Hey, have you heard about the sharks under your bed?
You dummy, there's no alligator down there, but have you heard of those sharks?
Okay, number 6. A girl ruins a dinner party while exploring alternative religious beliefs. This one's a little more niche. It's very well-known movie, but...
The Haunting?
No.
Oh.
The Menu?
No. No.
Knives Out?
No.
Hide and Seek?
Girl? No.
Okay.
Jay, you
Kazam.
still have 2 more guesses. No, Jesus Christ. You have 1 more guess. The clue, one more time, is a girl ruins a dinner party while exploring alternative religious beliefs. I was going to add additional clues, but you guys flew through your answers fast.
Oh, I don't know. Clue.
No, it's The Exorcist.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there is a dinner party.
There is a dinner
That's the whole
party.
thing, yes. Okay, number 7. 2 pals surprise their friends by reenacting their favorite movies.
Scream?
It's Scream, and I heard Joe first.
I heard me first, but whatever.
I heard me first, but whatever.
I think there's a delay.
There's probably a delay. Okay, we have 2 more left, and Jay, you could tie this thing up.
Oh.
Because the score currently is Joe 4, Jay 2, Anthony 1 unexpected point. Okay, number 8. A family tries to put in a new pool. It does not go
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Damn it!
Poltergeist. You are correct, Jay.
My brain was like, oh, La Llorona, and then that
yeah,
that
La
stupid
Llorona.
new one, that stupid new one in the dark with the pool and I was like,
Night Swim.
Man. Yeah,
Dark Pool.
I don't. It looks bad.
It's not good. I've seen it. Okay, very last one. Teenagers learn about the horrors of living with an STD.
It follows.
It follows.
I would never guess that one.
I wasn't really expecting you guys to get The Exorcist wrong because I was going to give you additional hints, but then Joe was rapid firing the answers out of his mouth.
I don't ever do that.
Just fucking hide and seek.
Kazam.
Well, the final score is Anthony 1, Jay 3, and Joe 5, making Joe the winner of this week's game. So,
Kazam!
Yay! Kazam! But
You haven't seen Shaq win.
I think I hear the music coming back on, and it's Jason's mom inside his head going, Jason, 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 kill, kill, kill. Jason, 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 kill, kill, kill.
Jason's mom has got it going on.
No, wait, it's Jay's mom going, Jay, 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 have sex with a woman, woman, woman.
You're not gay, 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 gay. You're not gay, 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 gay.
But go
Jesus,
call our
Jesus,
hotline.
Jesus.
That's terrifying. But go call our hotline real quick at 405-999-2242 and leave a message to open next week's episode with. Or you can leave a voice memo in our email inbox at beardsandsundries@gmail.com. Or there are other methods to leave voice messages, in which I will let Jay tell you later after Joe says his part.
And Beardos, our new boyfriend Norman wants to introduce us to his mom, so we gotta go. If you'd like to help us out, go and subscribe to the podcast so you can get a reminder every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave us a review. Those reviews are what get us found by more listeners like you. And also, if just each one of you could tell a friend about the podcast, that would double our growth, and we would appreciate that.
Check us out on our socials: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky. I forgot one.
Instagram?
Threads! There we go. I was like going through my list in my head. Anyways, see what we do on there. Go check our YouTube out, and then also email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com. You can email us content that we'd like to read or a voice memo, as Anthony said. You can also check out our website, beardsandsundries.com, where you can go to the buy merch button and buy, I don't know, merch.
Great.
So, from the three of us mid-winter clerks here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to
love your fucking self.
Because we already love you from the closet. Ooh.
Oh, we can't go back in there. Oh.
I'm standing there watching the old people jump off a cliff.